Shit, man, it is great to be back on with you, man. Like,
Hell
we did
yeah,
an
dude.
awesome boot camp a few months ago, and that was one of the coolest things, probably the coolest thing I've ever been a part of. Like, the rites we did out there were fucking insane, and I'm still seeing results from it, and so is everyone else that participated.
Good. That's what I was going to actually say is that everything we put into motion back in April at that boot camp is still rolling. I'm still experiencing the health effects, the positive health effects on myself, the positive relationship effects that I'm seeing, and not just with my intimate relationships, but my relationship with my daughter, my relationship with myself, my relationship with the spirits, and then yeah, just from what I've heard, everybody that came out is still having a similar experience of just that roll, and it's just continuing. So, dude, that's sick, and I'm excited. I'm telling people that we're doing it again. I hope we're doing it again this upcoming April because I plan on doing it. So, hell yeah.
We're definitely doing it again in April, man. I've had several people ask about it. We're going to do that. We were going to do one in September, and just so much shit happened in September, like nobody could quite make it. Everybody was like, "Oh, well, we can't make the September one, but we'll be in there in the April one." So, I mean, it just happened the way it happened, and nobody really planned that. But
well, and it does. It seems like it's kind of settling itself into becoming. I would like to just do it every year and just to have an annual thing. And so it's like the energies and the spirits were just not wanting us to do it in September and just wanted to make sure that we had it rolling for April. So I'm just going to lock that in. That's a great way of, especially at that moment, it's the turning of the seasons and the turning of energy. And so to use that and turn everything over is awesome. So hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. How's it going? What's going on?
Dude, it's going great. I mean, I'm in North Carolina. As everybody knows now that JD Temple dropped my location on one of his videos, I've been getting emails from people talking about, "Oh man, did you get hit by the hurricane?" Like, no, actually, I did not. I mean, we got a hellacious storm. It actually launched a dead tree limb through the hood of my truck. Somehow,
shit.
like punched through the metal. I have no idea how fast that thing would have had been traveling like a fucking spear, but imagine if someone had been standing there, it would have like probably went right through them. But no, but like two towns over, man, like 45 minutes away, got wiped off the fucking map. Like there was videos on YouTube, probably seen them, like houses literally floating down the street in these floods. But we were safe and protected here as always. So things are going good, and business has been kind of slow, I think, because everybody's like, "Oh shit, the docks are shutting down. There's a food shortage coming. We got all these hurricanes coming. Like, it's time for election. Like, are they going to drop Ebola on us? Are the aliens going to invade?" I say that comically, of course, but other than that, it's been awesome, dude. We got some new Radionics machines. We found a new guy. He goes by Lord Byron, and he builds these Radionics boxes like this one right here. This is like one of the most basic boxes that this guy builds. But inside, they are so much better quality, and they work better too. Not that there's anything wrong with the boxes we used to sell. I'm just saying we found a better builder of these machines.
Hell yeah. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And that is the thing with this technology, with radionics. Dude, very few people were taking it seriously until now, in magic. And even in the healing world and everything, unfortunately, radionics kind of, I hate to say this because I love it so much, but it kind of got to be a laughing stock for a little bit. Where for, I mean, through the 80s and 90s, where it was a woo-woo type of thing. Nobody was taking it seriously. But honestly, as soon as you got your hands on it, and as it's not just you and me. Let's, I'm going to deflate the ego a bit. There's a resurgence. There's something happening where this technology is trying to get out. It's coming out through a lot of different people. And so a lot of people are seeing the benefit of it, and it is. I mean, throw the machine on, and yeah, you can go about your day and reap the benefits. But also, the biggest thing I've seen is not just the passive effect it can have like that, but when you really want to blast something through, you've got literally unlimited power coming through that gateway. And so yeah, it is Radionics is off the charts. And I think what we're doing with it now, being able to make these little adjustments that you're making of just seeing the little ways you could improve the technology, that's where it's at, because it is going to be those that just add up and add up and add up, because 5 generations of boxes from now, who knows how crazy this technology is going to be. So hell yeah.
It's about to get a whole lot crazier, my friend. I've been talking with this guy. We won't name him. He does not want to be named. He lives over in Germany, but this dude is like he's like a techno wizard, man. He's creating some shit that I couldn't even explain because it's beyond my comprehension. And I'm just like, all right, man, you build these boxes and send me a prototype, and if they work like you say they do, then yeah, like we're gonna send EA one. Also, we're gonna send Timothy one. I know he's definitely interested in working with both of you guys, and we're gonna try to take what's already been done and take it to a whole nother level in the realms of black magic and affecting reality. Because, I mean, if you think about it, like each and every tiny cell in the human body generates electricity. You know, and so the way I see it, like magic is electricity. Like we don't even know what electricity is. We really don't. You know, like, we know how to use it, but we can't really explain why it exists or what it is. And you know, they say that you know, that movie Iron Man. It was like Iron Man 3 or 4 or one of those, like, where they figure out how to detonate human beings and they blow up like nuclear warheads. Well, supposedly that's a true concept. If you could actually figure out how to do that and detonate a human being, that we would explode with the force of like a 3 kiloton nuclear warhead. So the tingle and energy and power that I feel flowing through my body and out of my body, out of my hands and out of my mouth when I'm speaking in these rituals, it feels like electricity going through me. I feel like a circuit. I feel like a fried circuit when I'm done. Like I've been lit up like a stun gun, like with a stun gun for the entire time that I've been in the circle when I get out, and I'm just fried, man. But it works. It fucking works. So integrating frequency and electricity into ritual magic has been one of the coolest things that people have ever been able to do. And we did not invent this. Those that came before us did. Guys like Uncle Chucky and the inventors of the Radionics machines. But we are figuring out how to fine tune and hone that shit. And it's, I mean, we've done demonstrations. We did demonstrations that were so crazy and brutal that we had to take them off YouTube so that we didn't get canceled for blowing shit up. But yeah, people were saying Radionics was bullshit. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to take a risk here on my reputation. I'm going to say I'm going to do something. I'm going to film myself setting up the psionic super weapon, as I called it. I'm going to drop that video before it happens and then wait and see how long it takes for it to fucking happen. I predicted 14 days. It was exactly 14 days. And then people were just like speechless.
Well, both you and me came at this thinking it was bullshit. Both of us came at this going, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot because it keeps floating up. People keep talking about it. I'm gonna disprove this shit once and for all. And then, oh, wait a minute, it's working. What the fuck is going on here? So yeah, wow. But you know, let me actually talk to you about a couple of your rituals, because I actually just today I was on a consultation with this lady that's looking at ordering the Court of Belial. And she's got all kinds of stuff, legal stuff she's looking at, relationship stuff, family stuff she's looking at. She basically needs Belial to get in her corner and go to bat for her. But she's just not sure what to expect, and doesn't know if she, you know, what she's unleashing with this. So that was actually one of the things I wanted to talk to you about today, specifically the Court of Belial. But I know, dude, you've got so many, like, one of the things you really have excelled in is being able to find really unique rituals and channel these unique rituals with unique results. Because, you know, my thing is like, hey, tell me the basics of what you want. I'm going to call a demon and see if we can get that to work. You've gone a bit of a step beyond that of actually going, no, actually, if we do this, this, and this, you can get very, very exact results. So let's start with the Court of Belial, but then I'd like to just talk about some of the other rituals. But what can people expect out of the Court of Belial? And like with this one lady, what can she expect that it's going to do? And what are some of the offerings that she's going to need to do along the way to make sure she's working in cooperation with this?
All right, that's an excellent question, man. What they can expect out of the Court of Belial, especially if they're um, doing this ritual for legal assistance or even relationship assistance or assistance with anything really. Like Belial is a god. Belial is an ancient god. He's the lord of beasts in the earth. He's described as a demon in Christian mythology. He's described as a jinn in the Keys of Solomon and a fallen angel and all this other shit. Like, no, Belial is a god. He is an ancient god that has been adopted into and mislabeled by all these different religions. Some is the good guy, some is the bad guy. No, Belial is what I would call the ultimate badass. He was the first daemon or ancient god that I ever made contact with, and I did that after watching your videos on YouTube, dude. Like, I was facing a terrible legal situation with no way out, and I found one of your videos and you said that was the ideal entity to work with for legal issues. And what they can expect is the best possible outcome for their situation by evoking him into their life and making a sacrifice, which I won't even say that that's necessary. All right, you don't got to chop the head off a chicken in order to make magic work for you. That's something that I do out of respect, and I look at that chicken as a battery, as like a nuclear warhead that I'm taking into that ritual space and detonating within the triangle in order to feed that entity with burning flesh and blood and give them the power and energy that they need in order to take that power energy and then manifest what you're asking for in reality. So what they can expect from that is the best possible outcome. Now, I'm not saying that I can save you if you go commit a bunch of murders and then confess to it. You know, like okay, if they got you dead to rights, they got you dead to rights. Well, I mean, the best possible outcome in that situation would be like not getting the fucking death penalty. You know, but if you're dealing with something where you have a fighting chance, then absolutely, Belial. If you come to him sincerely and like with if you come to him, God, how can I even word it? If you come to him like a fucking man or a fucking woman, and you're sincere and you're not afraid, if you're not being a pussy, then he's going to respect that and he's going to help you. That's been my experience, and that's been the experience of the people that have done this ritual with me. So I would recommend working with him in legal matters above anyone else, and I'd also recommend working with him in your personal path working above anyone else. Like, me personally, he's been my guide along every crazy fucking path working that I've ever done. Like, it's always began with him, and then he'll pass me off to whoever I'm supposed to work with next, and I'll get run through this fucking ringer, this roller coaster, this gauntlet, and then I'm all like battered and beaten and bloody, and then like, here's Belial again. He's like, "Good job, buddy. Guess what happens next?" You know, and I'm just like, holy fuck, this is never going to end. And I don't want it to end, man. I'll never be done. I'll never be done any more than you'll ever be done. Any real black magician will never fucking be done.
The demons they will tempt me with that from time to time. They'll look at me and they'll say, especially specifically Abaddon does this. Hey, you could stop anytime you want. Yeah, fuck you. I know I can, and that's why I'm going to keep going. If you told me I had to do this, I'd be out. So yeah. But with the Court of Belial, though, one of the impressions I've got, and I don't know if this is how you see it, but as I was, because I'm going to be honest, I didn't know anything about this ritual until my client told me about it today, and I went on your website. I'm like, oh, this looks like a really cool ritual, so I wanted to ask you about it. But but it looks like what you're doing is you are invoking Belial's court, Belial's judgment into your life and into your situation, and basically handing it to him as the judge, being like, look, I don't know what to do here. You figure it out for me. And so in that way, it seems like you don't really have to nitpick. You don't have to micromanage what he's going to do, that you can literally just offload the entire burden of your life over to him. I mean, yeah. Is that right?
No, that's exactly right. You're turning the entire situation over to him. And asking for him to work in your best interest. And I'll tell you what, he's going to help you as long as he respects you. And as long as you're not like a rapist or a pedophile. Like, I tell people straight up, like, dude, you know, if you come to me with some shit like that and you're guilty, like, I'm going to give you your money back. Or fuck you, I'll keep your money if you're a rapist. Fuck you. No, I've never done that. But
It's
I
actually
warn them. I warn them. It's like, man, like that's one thing that I want to say very clearly here: that the demons, daemons, ancient gods, Satan, the left-hand path deities that we work with, they do not promote pedophilia and rape and evil shit like that. That's Christian shit. That's Muslim shit. That's Jewish shit. All right, like we get blamed for it. The demons get blamed for it. Like who's behind all these evil Hollywood satanic pedophile rings? Oh, it's Satan. Like, no, dude, I summon Satan to murder pedophiles. I kill like gods kill. I kill like E.A. Koetting taught me how to kill like the gods kill. And yeah, they have never asked me to do anything horrible that would go against my better judgment or my morality as a fucking man that cares about his fellow men and women. So, and children. So,
yeah, and yet there have been times where I've straight up been like, should I take this baseball bat and go beat this motherfucker to death? And you know what Satan said? Look, I'm not going to tell you should do that. If you want to do that, I'm not going to tell you not to. Is that what you want to do with your life? Think about that. Like, and 100%, there are people right now today that have not gotten beat to death by a baseball bat because Satan had me think about my actions. That he's going, I'm not gonna command you. That's not what I do. But are you ready? Are you ready for spend the rest of your life in prison? Because if you're not, he goes, I got work for you to do. And so if you want to throw away your destiny over beating somebody to death with a baseball bat, that's your choice, but it's a dumb choice, son. Yeah. So yeah, 100%. And no, but you know, that is, Belial's whole thing is he overthrows oppressors. He overthrows the tyrants. If you're a rapist, if you're a child molester, you're the tyrant. He's going to overthrow you. And so 100%, it turns out worse for them to call on Belial. Like, don't call on Belial at all. Like, he's going to make your situation a million times worse. Just like if you're innocent and you're being oppressed, he's going to do the best for you. If you're the tyrant, he's going to do the worst possible for you. He's going to make sure you're in the worst cell block with the worst people. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think that comes back down to respect, whether or not he respects you. Now, do I think he gives a fuck if you, beat the shit out of somebody and got in trouble for it whenever it was well deserved, or whether you got caught with some weed or something like that? Like, no, like who gives a fuck about that, man? Like that's not something that would categorize you as an oppressor or a tyrant, you know? And yeah, I think you're 100% right with what you just said there.
Yeah, no, awesome. And you know, what are some of the things? What are some of the groups you got this Halloween group right coming up? I mean, I got to ask you about that. But what are some of the things that you've seen people are really getting the most value? Well, another one I'm going to tell you is your wealth and prestige. That's the one that you call Soontalok, right?
Yes,
you do it because that's probably the one I hear the most about, because just as I'm on consultations with people or in my chat rooms, I'll have people be like, "Oh, dude, I just barely had this come through." One guy straight up took right after that ritual. He was telling me in my TikTok chat that he went to Vegas and just pulled the levers and won a ridiculous amount of money, had everything paid for him. I'm like, I don't agree with gambling. You know, I don't think that, but dude, I can't tell you, like, it works. So if it worked, it worked. Like, I can't argue with results.
Well, I mean, that was the entity that you discovered or rediscovered. I mean, I guess we can't say discovered if he's older than
he's been there a lot longer than I was alive.
Yeah, you were the Book of Azazel was the first place that I learned about that entity. That's a book you wrote, and I was in a pinch, man. I was in a financial pinch at that time, you know, and I was like, man, that's the guy I need to work with right there. So I did. I bought a rooster. I went to a mountaintop, and I just asked for financial stability. It was 3 weeks later. I got the highest paying job I'd ever had up to that point. And then 6 months later, I got published by you and Timothy in the Anthology of Sorcery, Volume 3. And 6 months after that, I was a professional black magician making a full-time living just doing what I'm doing now to this day. And that's been almost 10 years, dude. Soontalok is, he is the most powerful, beneficial spirit of wealth and prestige that I've ever discovered or worked with, and gives the very best results. And he's downright scary in how powerful he is. That's the only spirit that I don't film the entirety of the ritual when I'm doing it, because every time I try to do it, I lose a camera or I lose a cell phone. Like Fry's electronics, man. Like I wore a wristwatch into the circle one time. It was a nice one. It was a gift. And yeah, it stopped in the ritual. It never worked again. You know, one time I tried to take a picture of, you know, after I figured out I couldn't film the ritual because he fucks up electronics. It's something, I don't even know if it's necessarily doesn't want to be filmed. It's just like his power is so crazy intense that it like sucks the life out of and fries any electronic that's close to it. And so I walk in, my cell phone's got 100% battery. I'm trying to take a picture of the rooster burning in the fire to send to the client just for proof of action. And I literally watched, dude, I've never seen this before, watch the battery go zoop from 100% to zero, and the phone dies in my hand. I had to leave it plugged in for like 2 days before it came back on. So I'm just like, okay, fine. Yeah, he is extremely intense. He has the power of creation. He's exactly as you described him in the Book of Azazel, the creator of the Infernal Empire. He created the whole of the Infernal Empire from nothingness through Azazel's grand vision. And the only way that he could do that is if he had the godlike power of creation and the ability to take energy or take something and transmute it into something else. So I've even worked with him to heal illnesses and break curses and shit like that. I'm like, take this cancer tumor and transform it into this, or dissolve it. You know, take this baneful fucking energy that has taken root within this person, and let that be a sacrifice unto you, that you take the death and energy of that from and use it to bless that person, and they've been spontaneously healed.
I know a competition bodybuilder that works with Suntalog, and his whole thing, because I was like, what? How is he helping you with that? I didn't know he had anything to do with physical fitness. He goes, dude, I'm a competition bodybuilder. My body is my empire. And he goes, the gains I get, he's always ridiculous. He goes, everybody's asking me if I'm juicing. He's like, it's not. I'm demoning. I'm like, oh, dude, that's sick. That's awesome.
Demon juicing.
Right. No, that is awesome. Like I said, that's one of them that I keep hearing back from people, that they keep people just keep coming around going, dude, he did the wealth and prestige, and then this and this happened. And usually, like the dude who told me he went to Vegas, I was like, okay, I want you to watch what you do with that money that you won, because somehow it's going to lead to something that leads to something else that leads to something else. Because that's one thing I've seen with Sundalag. What he needs your idea, and he needs your desire, and then he takes that and he just starts he sets up dominoes. So they just start falling down, because you don't even know necessarily. What I've at least seen with him is like, I don't even know how I'm not even aware that he's working until it's all done. And then I'm like, boom, it all just falls down. I'm like, oh, damn. Maybe for like a good couple weeks, I'll be sitting there going, is he going to do the thing I asked him to do? Is he going to do that? And then all of a sudden, a million things happen all at once, just from somebody knocking a domino over. Then I'm like, that was genius. Blows my mind every time.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, he's another level of intensity. I'll tell you, to answer the second part of your question that you asked me a minute ago, like what can they do as far as offerings and things like that, whenever they commission me to do this right for them, they'll ask me, especially practitioners, they're just like, what can I do on my end? Because they want to do something to put their own energy and intention into it. And I'll tell them, okay, like the night that I do the ritual, or the day before, as long as it's, before or directly after, at some point during this process, draw out his sigil, and just, even if you're not a practitioner, just sit there and stare at his sigil, meditate on it, speak his name 3 times, and then just sit there and visualize what you want your life to be 6 months from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Like it says in the description, it says he takes the raw visions of the evocator and manifests them into reality. So the vision coming from me based on what you told me is one thing, but the vision coming directly out of your third eye, out of your mind, into his sigil, then you've made my job that much easier, because then I don't have to even explain it to him. All right, he already knows what you're trying to do. I'm just the middleman that is giving the sacrificial offering on your behalf. So yeah, he is 100% badass. I'll work with him exclusively almost on operations of wealth and prestige.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then the last thing I want to talk to you about before I've got to let you go is this Halloween. So this is crazy triple combination you got going on here for this ritual. When I saw what you were doing with this, I'm like, are you sure? You sure you want to mix these three guys together? This is going to be a crazy party. So this is Shemyaza, Lucifer, and Belial. Now, the reason that comes across so crazy to me is it's almost like completely different aspects of the spiritual realm that are all brought together. So, and I know you lay this out on your website, but tell us a bit about like why you're choosing those three and what they're going to do together.
All right. So the reason I actually thought about this for a long time, you know, my girlfriend Siren was like, man, you should really do like a badass group ritual for Halloween. She's like, you know, you got to do that. So just tells me you got to do that. I'm like, okay, let me think about that for a minute. I'm just like, well, what is the most awesome thing that I could do? You know, I'm just like, okay, you know, you got Shemyaza, the teacher of root work and sorcery, teacher of black magic, the leader of the Watchers. You got Lucifer, the bringer of the light, the morning star, and then you have Belial, the ultimate guide along any path on the left-hand path, as far as I'm concerned. This is for black magicians. This is for practitioners. This is for serious motherfuckers that are really want to dive headfirst into the deepest, darkest ocean that there is without a life vest and sink or swim. This is for people with fucking balls. Lady balls, man balls, it don't matter. It's for people with fucking balls. And what this is going to do, I think, is going to unleash a power into your life that actually you will feel flowing through your physical body that is unmatched and unknown to most people, other than people like yourself, which there's just like very, very few people that have taken their practice and their path working to a level like this. I get questions all day, every day, either through emails or consultations, like, man, what can I do to further my path working? Like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing these rituals, like, but I'm just not satisfied. You know, like how can I really get on the level here? And I'm just like, this is how, motherfucker, right here. And like I said in the video, I don't expect to see many people signing up for this, and I don't encourage people to. Two people have signed up for it so far. And
like I said, when I saw what you were planning, I was like, oh, dude, are you sure? Because I mean, because those three, they're so powerful in their own right that usually you just want to work with one at a time on their own, not mix it with other shit. Make sure you're giving it its own due. But bringing those three into that triangle, that is going to cause, I mean, it's not going to be a power struggle at all. In fact, I can see they're just going to latch onto each other's power and it's going to be off the charts. And then, so if I understand correctly, what you're doing is you're just going to plug each person who signs up for it, you're going to plug them, jack them, their bodies up to the fucking circuit. Like you're just jacking their bodies into it. You want them to feel this in their bodies. No guesswork, no wondering if it worked. They're going to actually be zapped by the dark forces from these three entities. That's nuts.
It's going to be probably, I imagine, one of the craziest rites I've ever done. And I would love it if you do it with me. That would be awesome.
Dude, I would love that. I would love that. Hell yeah. So with that, for the people who are receiving that, I mean, I can imagine you're gonna be feeling that for a while. But with the immediate blast, you're probably gonna want to aim that at something. You're probably gonna want to have a ritual you want to try to accomplish. At the very least, you're going to want to go for a long run or go lift some weights or something, because this is going to be a lot of power flowing through you.
That's a good point you brought up. I think that each person that participates in this should have a specific goal in mind. You know, whether it's manifestation of something or just personal ascension or even descension, or just becoming the most powerful being, black magician that you can become. Like, yeah, you need to have something that you're going to direct this energy towards, because it's going to hit you like a fucking tidal wave. All right. And I could not think of anything like I meditated on this for a week, like straight, like, okay, you know, I got to work this out in my mind. I got to figure this out. You know, like, what is the most awesome thing that I could do for my Patreon subscribers, as well as for the people that sign up for this, as well as for my brothers and sisters that participate in it. Like, this is this is the coolest fucking badass thing that I could come up with. And I really think that it's going to be a one of a kind ritual. I probably won't ever offer it again. I said that about the reverse baptism too, but then last several years, several people, wrote me like, man, when are you going to do this again? I missed it. We missed out on it, so I ended up doing it again. I'm not saying I'll never do it again, but this is going to be a one of a kind rite, man.
Sometimes people surprise us with how much they can handle, because I'm tapping out sometimes, and I see other people that are like, "Oh, give me more, give me more." I'm like, "Oh, you psychos, you guys are psychos." So yeah, well, awesome. So everybody can sign up for that over at jsgarrett.net. You've got all the rituals up there. As we get the URL or whatever ready for the April event, that'll be up there, and so awesome. So with that, now we start the gun show. So anybody who doesn't like the Second Amendment, go fuck yourselves. Yes. And we're going to talk about some cool shit.
Okay, we're going to start out with a hammer. This is a hammer.
Oh yeah. That's old school. That's old school. That's
one of the hammers that I used in your deification rite. The very first ritual that I ever performed and videoed and put on YouTube on the Become a Living God channel. I grabbed this. It was actually later. I was like, man, I got to show him that. And my girlfriend's like, man, you should auction that shit off, man, because that's cool. It's never been used in another ritual. Like neither one. Still have both of them, and I'm like banging these hammers together, like while I'm performing your deification rite.
I remember watching that video, dude. That's
really fucking cool.
So now with your girlfriend's idea, so talk to her. Maybe we're gonna have to get together and have a meeting about this, because dude, I've got so many relics. I've got in behind my temple, like in the little, I got like a crawl space that I've just got boxes of different stuff from voodoo, Viking stuff, whatever. We need to start a museum. Like we're gonna have to get this stuff and like make it so people can actually look at it. I would like to have it. I don't know. I'd like to have something available where people can actually come and use these magical tools themselves. So I don't know, some way, like if there's something we got to do with this, but I'm not like, I haven't been throwing my stuff away on purpose. Like there's this is for other people at this point. Somehow we're going to make that happen.
Well, I was going to at least send one of them to you, and I want to keep the other one.
So yeah.
We'll put them both in the museum. And this is my new ritual dagger. All right. So my cousin Cassie, she has a really badass boyfriend that makes handmade knives. This is a piece of like machining metal here that he took and sharpened. It's sharpened on both edges, and he's got this crazy machine that you put water on the wood and then electrocute it, and it like burns a lightning bolt into it. Yeah, this gave it to me. I just blooded it 2 nights ago with the first sacrifice. It's got a little fork end on there, so if you were to like and twist it and pull it out, yeah, it'd be really nasty. But nah, that's really cool. But nah, what's really fucking cool is this is the new POF 22 pistol. It's a pistol because the barrel is only 9 inches, and this is and it's got a forearm brace so you can extend it, and it takes 10-22 magazines. All right.
Wait. Now the ATS their pistol brace rule is now that's no longer, right? That's been bumped down.
Oh boy, it got overturned. Everybody like me that had an AR-15 with a forearm brace on it had to like take the forearm brace and put it somewhere else. But now we can put our forearm braces back on, and things like that are out for sale. We've got a red dot on it. This is a Swedish shooting 22 carbine.
Is that so? Is that a suppressor on there?
This is a fake suppressor.
Good. Well, I bet it doesn't even make that much.
But it's the muzzle is threaded so that you can put a real suppressor on there. All right. I'm still waiting on my tax stamp to get back. To the suppressor, but
they get real serious about that stuff. So yeah, you don't want to mess around with that.
Yeah, you got to get a class 3 tax stamp, whatever. But yeah, you can put a suppressor on it. And so the next one.
Wait, real quick with the last one. Is that a Romeo red dot?
A Romeo? It's a CT. It's a CT on it. I don't remember where the hell I bought it, man.
That's
but
cool.
It's yeah. I mean, it's just it's a red dot and it's got a green dot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's It's high dollar. I paid like $300 for it, so I guess CT must be a good brand. I don't know that much about red dots.
One second. I forgot my.
All right.
I got let's see.
Oh.
AR 5.56 and make sure it's clear.
Nice.
And yeah, that's Spitfire. Okay. All right. I thought this was I had a Romeo and those are really nice. But yeah, this is one
on
of
there. Oh yeah.
What's that?
Is that a flashlight on there too?
Yeah, oh yeah. Usually I like to put my flashlight all the way up as far up as I can, but I couldn't. There's nowhere to attach it up here, so I just put it right next to that, and that's good enough. It stays out of the line of sight, so yeah. It's what's up?
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I love it. It's tight. It's tight. Dude, I love seeing Serafina with it. She's so beautiful, and then just to see her with this.
Yeah. I take my girlfriend to the shooting range all the time, and I film videos of her shooting my guns and her gun. And to me, that's better than porn. Like, seriously. I go home and I watch that shit. I'm like, oh, I'm going to jump around.
Oh, for sure.
So, this next one is actually one that I bought for my girlfriend. This is the new Koetting 9mm carbine. It folds in half, so it goes right in your backpack. It's got a threaded barrel, and if you notice, the red dot is on the side of the weapon. So let me scoot back here so you can see it. It's got a little button right there. You push it, and then boom, lock it in. So now it becomes a carbine, and I got a 40. Oh wait, hold on. I got a 15-round mag in there right now. This is a 30-round mag. And yeah, dude. The charging hand back here. It's on the back of the stock. So
oh wow.
Charge it. So you just throw your mag in, and they make 100-round drums for this motherfucker too. It takes
wait. So on the inside of that, do you have your what do they call that? The spring and shit? Is that
yeah, the spring's in here. Springs in the stock. So you just pop your mag in.
So you're charging it right at the front of that spring. You're giving it that charge, dude. That's genius.
And yeah, dude, whenever you want to break it down, you just grab the trigger well, and it twists and locks it.
Oh, dude,
it's so fucking accurate. Like at 100 yards, you can shoot the bullseye out, man. You can write your name with it.
And that's running 9mm.
9mm, yes, sir.
Oh, dude, I love that. Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Those are my new toys. I had to show them.
Well, yeah. Well, I've got one other that I'm just gonna show it off. You've already seen this one. You shot it once, so this is my pirate pistol. And why I'm showing this off is I got a bunch of caps for it. That was the thing that was holding us back when you were here. So these are the percussion caps. So next time you're here, and anybody that comes out in April, we're gonna take some of these out and just blast away. So hell yeah.
That was so much fun, man. Like, it makes me want to drive from North Carolina to Utah just so I can bring my arsenal. Because yeah, after the boot camp was over, like, we went shooting. We like went out in the desert and just fucking, dude, we were playing cowboy. We were tearing it up. We were having a fucking blast.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the most fun things about coming out.
that was a hell of fun. I'll tell you what, that's I've got a lot of complaints about the United States government and the way things are going with this country, but I'm one of those guys that I do believe our founding fathers had a very pure spiritual vision of what we needed to do to progress mankind, and it is freedom. And so when I step out onto my back porch and I take this motherfucking 50 cal muzzle loader and I can fire it right off of my back porch, to me that sounds like freedom.
Yeah.
So yeah,
100%.
safely and responsibly into a mound of dirt every time and whatever. But that's a part of freedom. If you want freedom, God damn it, you're responsible for your actions. You're responsible if your stray bullet goes and hits a kid. Well, God damn it, you're responsible for that. And if somebody grabs your guns and goes and shoots up something they're not supposed to, well, yeah, again, that can come back on you. As a gun owner, you do have to be responsible. But with that responsibility is freedom. So yeah, but go hand in hand, motherfuckers. Start. That's the thing. You get your freedoms taken away as you get less responsible. It's a really fun little way that the system works out. Keep yourself responsible, and you're gonna find you got a lot of freedom.
100%, man.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, awesome chat with you, brother. I gotta let you go, but everybody, jsgarrett.net. Definitely get signed up for the ritual. I'm gonna get with you later when we get closer to that and see if there's anything special I can do on my end to add to that ritual. And awesome. So hell yeah, dude. Looking forward to it, brother.
I'm on becomealivinggod.com also. I still sell rituals on there, man.
That's true.
Yeah, I'll put all the links in the description.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. All right, well.